Morning, everybody. Happy, where are we at? Thursday already. Oh, Thursday. If we were still in college, we know what Thursday it would be. But we're not in college anymore. We're grown up. We're professionals. We're in the real world now. We're not in the kid world anymore. Okay, so nice little sesh over at the gym. Did some DDPY. And I got to tell you this. You know when you get like an ache or a pain or a thing that hurts you, and the only way to really overcome it is to do the things you're supposed to do that are going to heal it, i.e. stretch, i.e. Take the medicine, i.e. do the therapy, i.e. whatever. I remember my dad one time, he did something to his finger. He really messed his finger up, and the doctor told him what to do, so he did it, and then he went back, and then the doctor wasn't surprised, but kind of was surprised when he said, "You're a really good patient." My dad was like, "What do you mean I'm a really good patient?" And he said, "Well, you did what I asked you to do." And it was kind of like, "No kidding." No kidding, I did what you asked me to do. That's what you're supposed to do. But the thing is, people don't do it. My point is, boy, did I crank something wrong in my back, neck and back. Oh my gosh. Went to the old Cairo yesterday. Did some DDPY today. Going to do a little bit more stretching later in the day. Not to tell you how good of a patient I am, but simply because I hurt. And I don't want to hurt. Because I want to train. All right, let's dive into AMX 629. And, my friends, we got a new patron. That I just saw. And it's so cool. It's so fun. It's so easy to do. It's simple. But I tell you what. These donations, they're a couple bucks, but they mean so much to me. Dred and I were talking, they mean so much, and it's really cool, and this is turning into a really neat thing, so thank you. I'm going to thank you, Marissa. I'm going to say it out loud. Let's dive into today's AMX books. 1, 2, 3, go. Good morning, my friends, and welcome to the Spaniard Show. This is the Spaniard. We're back with AMXbooks 629, reading The Boys in the Boat. My website, the reading list is updated. charliespaniard.com/reading list has all these books. Thank you, Marissa Hoover. Another patron this morning, Marissa Hoover. Marissa is responsible for a big reason, for the reason that I work so much over at Penn State Harrisburg. So thank you so much, Marissa, for your patronage, for your listenership, for your friendship, for your mentorship, for all that. Thank you very much, Marissa. And I got to say this. I finished reading the book, The Boys in the Boat, yesterday at Panera. I was sitting there reading it, and I was crying and smiling, chills up and down my spine. I know that doesn't say much because I'm a wimp when it comes to that stuff, but oh my goodness gracious, this book is something every one of us should read for the human spirit, for the human condition. That's why you should read the book. Let's talk about the importance of character. Importance of character. We're going to talk about some old friends today. That of character, that of energy, and that of ego and humility. These themes, remember these themes as I've been talking about them for months and months and months and months and months and almost 2 years now? I talk about them so much because they're important if you want to maximize your time on earth, if you want to utilize your skills and assets as a human being, your potential as a human being. Listen. I'm learning and teaching and I'm listening. So listen to the importance of character more so than their skill. So this is in reference to the boys in the boat. Quote, what was more important was their character. And this is talking over their skills. What was more important was their character. They were a rough and tumble bunch, not very worldly, but earnest and used to hard work. And character could still, to some extent, be formed in boys as young as the freshmen. Now that was interesting. We're talking about character. We're talking about how these boys have character and how it's more important than their skill. The idea of being a solid person before being... Who likes a great wrestler who's just a total jerk? No one does. Who likes an Olympic gold medalist who's just a total jerk? Nobody does. So we're talking about the importance of character. And it was interesting to see here. He said, and character could still, to some extent, be formed in boys as young as the freshmen. I see hope there. So I would have thought he would have said as old as the freshmen, right? No, but he said as young as the freshmen, meaning that we still have hope, right? Our youth are not gone. They're not hopeless. They're not oblivious. They're not, lost to technology. If in the book we're learning that this character can be formed as young as freshmen, right? Or the freshman is 19 years old. We, you, me, we all need to work towards developing the character, not giving up hope on young people, but doing our best, our darndest, our old college try of developing the character in young people. So how are you doing it? It's up to us. You know, if you want to complain, if we want to watch the news and listen to all the negative and the bad and what are we doing to change it? What are you doing? What are you doing to change it? How can you change it? Who are the young people in your life to whom you can instill and teach that character? Let's segue to our old friends, ego and humility, my favorite dichotomy of all. Ego and humility. The idea of ego, meaning you have to believe that you're the best. If you want to do anything great in life, if you want to succeed, you have to believe that you're worthy of that success. As a professional fighter, I was having a conversation. I was talking to a mentor of mine yesterday regarding business, and I said, look, in professional fighting, it was totally normal for me to say, I believe I'm the best in the world. I believe I'm going to smash you in the cage, period. But you can't, in the civilized world, you can't make a phone call and say, look, person, look, decision maker, I'm the best there is, the best there ever will be, and you will make a giant mistake if you don't hire me for this talk because I am the best. It just doesn't work that way, you know. In the real world, there has to be a balance of ego and humility. Be too humble, you're going to get walked on. Jocko and Leif Babin talk a lot about this in their books, Extreme Ownership, Dichotomy of Leadership. It's this balance. It's this teetering. It's not a fight that you have to win. I talked about this, I believe it was yesterday. It's not a fight you have to win. You don't have to be either all ego or all humility. Rather, the game is the balance between ego and humility. From the book, quote, this is so, I have chills down my spine right now. Quote, eventually, if they were going to become what he hoped they would, and they were sophomores at this time. So these boys, the boys in the boat, the 1936 gold medalists, they win the National Freshman Championship. They come back as sophomores. Quote, eventually, if they were going to become what he hoped they would, he, meaning the coach, Coach Ulbrichtson, he would need to see each of them develop the rare balance of ego and humility that great oarsmen somehow always manage to have. They are great because they have it. That balance of ego and humility, that enables you, that opens your door up to greatness. Quote, Joe Rance would row harder than any man in the boat. The question was that he didn't always seem to want to. The boys called him Mr. Individuality. So this idea of character, this idea of mission above self, it's not an all or nothing. It's not a you have it or you don't have it. Joe Rance at this time was 18, 19 years old, young boy, learning the sport of rowing, learning the idea of collective purpose. His teammates at the beginning, his freshman year, they called him Mr. Individuality, right? So we can learn. Joe Rance hadn't yet learned mission above self. He hadn't yet learned putting something else, right? He hadn't yet learned, do you want to be right or do you want to have a happy relationship? But he did learn it. So one, you can teach it to other people, and two, you can learn it yourself. If you're not part of something, if you're not working collectively toward a purpose, there's an episode, the episode that comes out today, I believe it's AMX Talks 207, they talk about this. I had two guests from Team Red, White, and Blue, Amanda and Sarah, and they talk about this. So collective purpose, working towards something, and the benefit, the intrinsic value that comes from that. And last thing I want to talk about is our old friend energy. This is one of my favorite parts in the book. So Joe was mistreated by his parents, especially his father. His father essentially hung him out to dry. Stepmother disowned him. They kicked him out of the house a couple different times. They didn't show him the love that a parent should show their child. And Joyce, his girlfriend, soon-to-be wife, she never could understand why he didn't get angry, right? She was furious at the stepmother. She was furious at the father, but Joe wasn't furious. Joe's response was this, quote, write this down, stamp to your forehead, hit rewind, hit slow, put in slow motion, and listen to this over and over and over. He says, quote, it takes energy to get angry. It eats you up inside. I can't waste my energy like that and expect to get ahead. He was crushed when they left him. But he says, quote, now I have to stay focused, got to take care of myself. It takes energy to get angry. If energy is the most important metric, we got to make sure we utilize that energy to all things that move the needle forward. Anger and hate and frustration if it ain't moving the needle forward, you got to discard it. Put it over there in the corner with baby. Make sure you come back tomorrow for AMX 630. Thank you again, Marissa, our newest patron. Patreon.com/Charlie Spender. For as little as $1 a month, you can help propel so more and more and more and more ears can hear AMX, the Spaniard Show, and become lifelong learners. Patreon.com/Charlie Spender. I'll see yuns tomorrow for AMX Books 630. Takes energy to get angry, folks. Takes energy to get angry. This is actually a timely thing. Just this morning, I saw on Twitter, Kevin Hart, who is one of my favorite people to follow, listen to, watch, etc. He said his daughter asked him why he didn't get angry at the people on Twitter who talk smack on him, and he said, because I'm too busy doing the thing, essentially, you can read the tweet, but doing the things he likes and being happy, so he didn't have time for it. And then he also said something in the tweet. There were two different tweets. Kevin Hart, for real, I believe his handle, but he also said, okay, so and another thing was, he said, I don't hang out where the negative people hang out, so I don't even know what they say. So it's like, there you go, folks. Take that to heart. Did you see what I did there? I didn't even try to do it. Take that to heart, Kevin Hart. Oh, we can't get any better than that. I got to end there. I'll see you tomorrow for AMX Books 6:30. YouTube. Everything's being uploaded to YouTube. YouTube.com/Charlie Spaniard. Facebook.com/Charlie Spaniard. @Charlie Spaniard on social media. Spaniard Show on iTunes. I don't know what else to say. I'll see you.